It's already in motion. You didn't notice the exact moment it began, but make no mistake, everything is shifting. You're on your way out of an old chapter, and turning back is no longer an option. Something subtle sparked it all, without noise, without warning. Call it ignition, call it Jupiter Cazimi, call it fate. But the truth remains, you've already started to drift away from what once felt certain, what once felt yours. And yes, the new moon is more than just a phase. It's a quiet force behind this unraveling, playing a much larger role than most are aware of. Stay with me, because there's one very specific reason why this moon isn't waiting for you to be ready. I'll explain that soon, and believe me, it's something you need to hear. And if something in your life suddenly feels off, outdated, or no longer aligned, feel free to share it below. You can even drop 555 if you sense the shift has already begun. But before we even get to that, you need to hear what was never supposed to reach you until now. You weren't supposed to hear this until right before the door shuts. This isn't a message for who you were. This is for the version of you that's already moving, the one you haven't caught up to yet. You're not watching this by accident. You received this dispatch now because something is about to expire. Tomorrow's Jupiter Cazimi is triggering this shift, but it's not alone. And here's the part no one's saying out loud. There is something or someone around you that can't survive the crossing. And you already know what it is. You've known. There are signs that confirm this is taking place, and you must be aware of them. You're not breaking character. The character is breaking off of you. There was a version of you that could smile through it, nod politely, blend in when it was easier. You could manufacture interest, perform calm, wear alignment like a uniform. But now, it's not just hard, it's impossible. Something in your nervous system has revoked the ability to simulate your old self. And this isn't rebellion. It's not you choosing to be more authentic or finally stepping into your truth. That would imply effort. This is mechanical. You can't keep up the performance because the script no longer loads. You're not burned out. You're wiped clean. Jupiter Cazimi doesn't ease you into your new self. It erases the overlays. It dissolves the scaffolding that held your emotional autopilot together. And now, everything you used to fake has no muscle memory left to back it. The words you used to say don't come out right. The roles you used to play feel like theater. And when you try to pretend you care, something inside twists and rejects it. The new moon in 2 days is not here to gently guide you through this. It's here to overwrite the whole interface. No compromise, no duality, just what no longer fits, cannot follow. If you've been feeling like you're malfunctioning socially, emotionally, mentally, it's not malfunction. It's compatibility loss. You're becoming illegible to the old world. Your energy no longer speaks the dialect of distortion. And what happens when the world around you starts noticing that you're no longer fluent? Well, that's when the doors start to slam. The Cazimi doesn't lock you out. It locks you away from what would delay your arrival. Suddenly, things that used to flow stop. Plans crumble. Conversations turn cold. People ghost. Money vanishes. It feels like sabotage, but it's surgical. This isn't punishment, it's precision. When Jupiter meets the heart of the sun, the signal that gets emitted is absolute. It doesn't send you signs, it sends you interventions. And right now, those interventions are showing up as closed doors. Sudden rejection? That's a reroute. A job ghosting you? That's time protection. Something that made perfect sense last week now feels cursed. That's not confusion, that's recalibration. You're being denied access to your previous exit route. That's why everything familiar is crumbling. You were never meant to take that same route out. You would have looped back into the same frequencies, the same architecture of identity. The Cazimi field knows this. It sees your trajectory beyond what your mind can comprehend. So yes, some paths will glitch out right before your eyes. Some people will turn away with no warning. Something will fall through, and you'll feel that sting. But make no mistake, this is divine interference, and the more you try to force a door that's already been sealed, the louder the refusal gets. What you're feeling right now isn't loss, it's removal. Strategic, surgical removal. The kind that doesn't ask for your permission because it's trying to keep you on time. Whatever is being denied to you right now was designed to delay who you're becoming. This isn't insomnia, it's a spiritual summons. There's something strange happening in this window between Jupiter Cazimi and the new moon. Something precise, deliberate, coordinated. And you may have already felt it, not during the day, but in the stillest part of the night. That moment when the world is silent, shadows are long, and everything feels slightly out of sync. It usually starts with a subtle pull, eyes snapping open for no reason. You check your phone, 4:44 a.m. again, or maybe it's 3:33 or 1:11. And it doesn't just happen once, it becomes a pattern, a coded repetition. And no, this isn't your body being restless or your brain overthinking. This is a scheduled activation, a midnight recalibration. Your consciousness is being synchronized to the new reality grid. That's only accessible when the veil is thinnest, when logic is quiet, and your spiritual receivers can actually hear. You're not waking up to think, you're waking up to tune in. Those numeric timestamps, they're not random, they're coordinates, markers left in your subconscious to alert you. You're syncing, and what you're syncing to isn't of the old timeline. Termed 444 in particular holds a frequency of divine alignment, stabilization, and foundational transformation. It doesn't gently whisper, it declares. And if you're being jolted awake at this exact sequence, it's not just a nudge, it's a message being delivered through your own energy field. You're being recoded in real time. And here's what's even more uncanny. Many of you are being pulled from sleep at the same hour across different countries, time zones, lives. Why? Because the field doesn't operate by geography, it operates by readiness. And when you're ready, you stop sleeping through the transmission. Your body knows, your spirit recognizes the signal. You wake up because you're meant to receive. And if you're watching this thinking, wait, I've been waking up like this for days now, then know this, you're not crazy, you're not alone, and you're not just sensitive. You're part of a tightly orchestrated rollout that's happening right now, one wave at a time. Not all echoes are meant to be answered. Have you noticed the thoughts that don't feel like yours lately? The ones that sneak in quietly? Strange regrets, long-forgotten cravings, that sudden urge to reach out to someone you let go of years ago. It doesn't make sense. You're moving forward, you're different now, but still, these fragments return. You're not regressing, you're not slipping back. What you're hearing is not a sign you're falling behind. It's the final monologue of an identity that knows it's being retired. The version of you that survived by shrinking is giving one last speech before it disappears. That voice, the one whispering old doubts or dragging your mind toward dead-end fantasies, that's a memory echo. And just like any energy on its way out, it wants acknowledgement, it wants airtime, but it doesn't need a response. You are not required to entertain the dying wishes of a self you've outgrown. There's a strange kind of psychic static happening right now. People are tuning into versions of themselves that only exist in memory, not because they're meant to return to them, but because those echoes need closure. It's not about clarity, it's about clean exit. This is why you might feel random waves of sadness with no source, moments of maybe I should have, sudden nostalgia for patterns that once drained you. That's not you losing progress, that's residue lifting off the edges of your auric field. Don't confuse a whisper with a calling. Don't confuse nostalgia with misdirection. If it's trying to remind you who you used to be, don't answer the phone. Let it ring out. Let it fade. And don't worry, the real call is coming soon. But when it rings, it won't sound like fear. It will sound like destiny arriving right on time. Energetic deadlines are real, and this one doesn't negotiate. There's a window open right now, and most people don't realize it's not just symbolic. It's literal, energetically literal. We're in the narrow corridor between Jupiter Cazimi and the new moon, and the air around your choices is charged, not with possibility, but with consequence. This isn't one of those wait until you feel aligned kind of moments. This is a pressure point, a choosing point. And if you don't move, the shift will not go against you, but without you. That means things might fall apart, not because you're doing something wrong, but because the version of your life that requires your hesitation is being erased. If you've been dragging your feet about something lately, a decision, a conversation, a commitment, a letting go, don't be surprised if it gets decided for you. Plans collapsing, timelines dissolving, opportunities suddenly vanishing. That's not sabotage, it's enforcement. The new frequency isn't waiting for your clarity, it's building without it. If you don't walk forward on your own, the current will carry you, but not gently. And maybe you're feeling it already. The conversations that used to be on pause are suddenly closed. The bridge you were planning to cross later, gone. It sounds harsh, but it's precision. This phase is for what's immediate, living, and honest. Everything else is being cut loose. Now, here's the twist. This isn't punishment. This is protection. The universe is removing your access to everything that was keeping you uncertain, not to trap you, but to clarify you, to reveal that you're not meant to linger in limbo. But don't let that lull you into thinking you have forever to act, because you don't. The new moon doesn't work in drafts. It imprints. This portal doesn't wait for your readiness. It reveals what you're ready for. And the more you hesitate, the more the path ahead will collapse. Everything you thought you still had time to keep, gone. The only thing worse than a leap is being pushed off the edge and not realizing it was your flight path all along. You're not being tested, you're being timed. And the clock is already almost out. If everyone else is panicking and you feel peace, you're not behind. You're already ahead. Not everyone is anxious right now. And that might be the strangest part of all. Because in the middle of all this cosmic acceleration, some of you are feeling something quiet, steady, almost surreal. You're not restless. You're not overwhelmed. You're not spiraling. You're just still. And it might be confusing. You might even be wondering if you're dissociating, if you're missing something, or if you're disconnected from what everyone else seems to be sensing. But you're not. You're through. That strange neutrality, that internal quiet, that lack of urgency, that's not detachment. It's clarity. It's what it feels like to be on the other side of a frequency jump before your mind has caught up. Stillness after turbulence is not emptiness, it's arrival. Here's what's happening. Some of you didn't resist. You moved when the signals came, even if you didn't have all the answers. You let things go. You walked away. You chose silence when noise felt fake. You listened. You followed the inner tug. And now you're standing in a pocket of energy that's stable because you arrived early. Think of it like this. When a system upgrades, not everyone installs the new code at the same time. Some users are still debugging. You're already running the new operating frequency. That's why your emotions don't match the chaos around you. That's why other people's meltdowns feel like echoes from a world you left behind a week ago. And yes, it might feel lonely right now. When you're first through the door, it's quiet. No welcome party, no instant confirmation. But that silence, it's holy. It means you're in the field of creation before the crowd shows up. This calm isn't an absence of sensation, it's the full saturation of presence. You're not unbothered, you're unavailable to the chaos you've already transcended. And when others start catching up, when they start asking, "Why do I feel so off lately?" you'll remember this moment. You'll know you were already living the answer. So if you're feeling that strange, grounded neutrality while everyone else is still spiraling, don't doubt it. Recognize it for what it is. The calm isn't a delay, it's confirmation that you already stepped through the door everyone else is still looking for. This is not a negotiation. This moon does not knock, it enters and initiates. There's a reason this new moon feels different. It's not soft, it's not subtle. It's not here to hold your hand while you write affirmations and hope the universe listens. This moon doesn't wait for you to set intentions. This moon is the intention, and it's already moving. The Jupiter Cazimi has lit the match, and this moon is the signal flare. It's not opening a new chapter, it's sending you out into it. No rehearsal, no draft mode, no second attempt. If Jupiter cracked open the portal, this moon is what pulls you through it. You don't get to stay on the fence anymore, not with this energy. This is not the kind of lunation that lets you manifest in peace while staying in old patterns on mute. This one's a launcher. It's coded to push. That moment you've been circling, it's here. And whether you say yes or not, this moon will answer for you. You're not being asked to decide, you're being activated to proceed. There's a force behind this moon that overrides hesitation. It doesn't care how long you've been preparing, healing, wondering. It sees your trajectory and lights the fire under it. It doesn't need your plans to be perfect. It just needs you to stop delaying them. This lunation is happening in real time, not as a concept, but as a deployment. You might even feel it in strange ways, sudden clarity, an unexpected opportunity that feels far too big to be random, or even a breakdown that looks like destruction but is actually realignment. That's not coincidence. That's execution. You're not starting a new cycle, you're being commissioned. This is a dispatch order from your higher alignment. You're being moved into position. So, if you've been sensing that something major is arriving but you're not quite sure what it is, trust that it's not because you're blind to it. It's because you are it. You are what's arriving. The moon is just delivering the signal that unlocks your next phase. This isn't intention setting, it's ignition. Don't confuse the silence before this moon with stillness. That quiet is the inhale before the command, and when it hits, when that darkness folds in and the sky resets, you'll know. You won't have to wonder if you're in it. You'll be moved, launched, activated. There is no preparation left to do. It's already begun. The exit was not a pause. It was a seal, and it won't open again. There's a strange temptation that creeps in right after a shift, to turn around, to go back, to test the door you just walked through, to see if maybe you left something behind. Or maybe you weren't supposed to leave in the first place. Don't do it, because here's what no one tells you. If you try to re-enter what you just exited, it won't work, not in the way you remember. That job, that dynamic, that role, that identity. It may still physically exist, but the version of you that belonged in it doesn't. The second you try to go back to the old frequency, it starts to feel fake. Like you're play-acting a life you don't remember signing up for. Like your mouth is saying the right things, but your spirit is already somewhere else. The bridge you left behind isn't gone. It's just no longer yours. And maybe you've already felt this. You tried to reconnect with someone from the past, and it felt hollow. You sat down. You went back to something that once felt second nature, and suddenly your hands didn't know what to do. You said yes to something you used to love, but instead of lighting you up, it left you feeling off. That's not a failure. That's change. You're not shrinking into the old version of yourself anymore. This energy around you, it won't let you fake it or call stuck a kind of stability. Things are falling apart for a reason, not randomly, on purpose. The habits, the people, the routines, they belong to a version of you that doesn't live here anymore. And if you try to slip back into that old skin, it'll feel strange, like wearing someone else's clothes. So don't fight the exit. Don't go knocking on doors that were gently and firmly closed behind you. Don't mourn what no longer fits. You've outgrown it, and that's not loss. That's movement. Where you're going. The old support systems can't hold you. They weren't built for your expansion. So, step forward, not because the past was a mistake, but because the future is finally ready for you. Let the echoes of old rooms fade behind you. You're not being shut out. You're being sent somewhere better. The longer you stay near the door, the heavier it gets, not because you're wrong, but because your spirit already left the building. So if you feel that tug to turn around, pause, breathe, then keep walking, not out of fear, but out of clarity. The old you was performing, pleasing, saying yes when everything inside said no. So now, when you don't play that role anymore, when you show up as your real self, it might feel strange, empty, even guilty. But that's not failure either. That's what it feels like when old programming starts to break down. You'll feel that guilt creep in right after the right choice. You'll wonder, was I too much, too cold, too selfish? But that's just the echo of the you that used to survive by keeping others comfortable. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just no longer performing a version of you that made others feel at ease at your expense. So let the guilt pass. Don't fight it. Don't reason with it. Just recognize it. A trace of who you used to be. You're not that person anymore. The guilt? It's just your past saying goodbye. Let it leave. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. If this spoke to you, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. And if you've been through a moment like this, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Take care. See you next time.